Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Geisy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for elo farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work, will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing, while he's dojo training, hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the club is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Geisy. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine that he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know, welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training. Hours a day playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need.
All right, here we go. It is time. It is time. We're going to hit all news feed. We're going to hit view all. I think we have about 20 some. Oh, we got 28. Oh, that could be hard. I had a rough morning. Sam lost in a random fashion. I kind of crashed out a little bit. I got mad at some tech stuff, F-bombed it and stuff, and just felt sorry for myself, you know. But I'm back here. I'm back here now. And we have T. Horaldson. Let's see what's going on with the T here. Just joined. And let's give him a follow here. Sometimes I forget to follow people recently. He's in the Minnesota dojo. And we still haven't fixed that, so it's easy for me to get to. But he does have a game submitted very recently. And this looks like a live chess game. Oh, but this is 15 plus 10. We definitely need a game that's at least 30-0. Here we go. So the first part of this game, first thing we want to say is that our guy has a much better time management rating than his opponent. But let me just say, in terms of chess pedagogy, I am sold on one thing. To make Dojo 1000 and ChessCom 1250, there are three things. There are three things. Thank you, JWMCC, for subscribing. There are three things you need to do in order of importance. Gaining a grip on the board. That means not hanging stuff, taking the free stuff. Number 2, taking your time. We will see many games as we proceed here where people do not take their time. They'll get that little bunny rabbit. That's called impulsive decision making. The more you can think, the less of a chance you have to drop your stuff. And number 3, bringing the people out. Those are in order of importance, and they also are in order of hardest to learn to easiest to learn. I hope that makes sense. Here we go. E4. I think he could have taken a coconut on E4. And you know what I think? Here's what I think, T. Horaldson. This is just a guess. I think you are confusing this. You've seen an opening, and I think I know what opening you've seen. This is what happens when people study openings before it's time. That you've seen something like this, and that's why you did this random pawn move here where it makes no sense. Okay, so here we go. Snip. Not the greatest move because now you could have taken on E5. So again, I think you're doing it by analogy with this other position. One of the key things I say, it's very important, This is called the Evans Gambit. Don't study openings until the dojo tells you to in the training program. All right, now we've lost a lot of things. That's kind of clever. He should take your bishop now. He does not. Now we're hanging our piece. Again, this is the most important thing. Hanging the stuff. You needed to take here to at least create some drama. He needs to castle, so he's also not seeing that the pawn on f7 is hanging. Now knight a5 will trade off that piece. He does not want it. He blunders. Thank you very much. Doesn't make any sense. Blunders the knight. Very good. I eat two knight. I eat tonight. That was a good pawn. I eat tonight. I don't know if he realized he was saying I eat tonight. I'm eating tonight too, buddy. D6, queen e4. There we go. We got a nice threat going on here. Now, let's just say, I should have put this in game review mode, but the most important thing is you just reflect on this and say, how many of those mistakes would they have not made if they were moving slower, right? That's what this green line, why we invented it. The green line is very important for stronger players as well, but for this first phase of today's graduate show, where we'll be talking to people under that 1,000 mark, 1250 ChessCom, this is the usual problem. Now, there's some people who have overcome it, right? But here they have not. He doesn't think. 18 seconds, bam, goodbye. Okay, so well done. Welcome to the dojo, T. Haraldson. Next up, we have PL NR3. This guy's kind of famous. So let's go look at the PL. Look at that. Yeah, buddy. This guy's working. He came and he's working. So he already feels like an OG of the dojo just because he's been doing so much work, graduating all over the place. Very impressive. Very impressive. Okay. So this is what we like to see in the dojo. He is going up all over the place. Clubs. Canada Dojo. Heat Map Heroes. He joined the dojo this summer, and now he's ready. He's already a heat map hero. I feel like I've gone over somebody else. Oh, yeah. So I think I went over this one. So I'm doing this class. It's a class for players between 500 and 900, and Get Chess is a famous player within there, and we've been looking at games with him and PLNR3. Okay, so let's do Tall Hooper, whose name I recognize. That's kind of soft on the annotations. Hold on, I just want to see if there's one with not so soft on the annotations. All right, let's do this one. So we got some time usage, and there it is, my friends. As we see, this is one of the critical things that we're seeing in the under 1250. This is a full hour, and White basically treated it like it was a 5-minute game. Okay, so let's go game review. Ba-bam. We'll mark this as reviewed. Good stuff so far. Looks like a GM game or something. Okay, so knight a4 is no bueno. If they were going to do knight a4, then they need to be able to take the bishop. Right now, the bishop's going to retreat, and the knight's just a chump. So he lost a tempo. What are they going to give you? They're going to give you tempi. A little weird to play rook e8. And we get this move off, okay? Now, the controversy here is that we're blocking our bishop. I don't know what that does. B5, okay, I don't know. So this now F4 is going to hurt us a little bit. Queen H5. Now, White's going to play a good move here and go bam, bam, bam. But I just want to say, like, these last couple moves, that was okay. But here, like a very simple move to make would be like bishop e6. It's an example of when you think you might find something, okay? So if white had thought, look at this move. But bam! Oh, baby, look at that move. If queen f7, pawn takes. If king takes, we'd say pawn takes, check. Oh, yeah, baby. But you're not going to find that unless you think. I had to think for a second to find that. Come on now. Inspector says, hello, everyone. Can anyone tell me how to get started on how the chess dojo works? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The simplest way is just to go join the dojo. You can also join at the free tier to kind of check it out. Good move. Good move by white. Good move. Brutal. Now, if black had thought a little bit about it, maybe in this position they could have tried g6 or g... It's a rough business, honestly. So look at what happens. Instead of losing just the exchange, he's going to lose a full rook now. And that FG, look at this. Opening up on this f7 square. Crispy critters. And the bummer there is we were the one who thought more than white. That's unfair. So this is an elite chess game against a slightly more highly rated opponent. To me, that was all about moving too fast. Yeah, having some unfortunate going on an unfortunate adventure with the rook. Yeah, definitely you can talk to Faugra. He knows all about it. And Marie Michael, thank you. Okay, so that was a good game. That's PLR 3. He's graduating. He's doing all right. And now we have John McCarthy, whose name I recognize. John says, I waited a few months before graduating because I wanted to accomplish the following. Lose the provisional rating on Lichess, show some improvement on ChessCom, go over some more game reviews, and play more with fellow cohort members. While I regress the mean a bit on Lichess, I feel ready for the next set of assignments. Thanks to everyone for their time in playing, reviewing, and looking forward to improving my game. So you can see John McCarthy, look at this. Bam! He is working. He is working. And it's possible I covered him. I think I might have covered him in one of these videos I have, like how to make 500 or how to make 400 or something like that. So he's doing the work, obviously. And let's read what he's doing here. Statistic company, marathon run, lifting heavy things. Those are the people. We have a club called Lifting Heavy Things. There's only like 40 people in it. That's the one where people are crushing the most. Okay, so John McCarthy, great. Also, I just want to say, really cool that you've done all this work and have now graduated twice. Very nice. Lifting Heavy Things, I called it, 41 members. Some nice clubs. Nice. Okay, we got games. I did the Road to 500 video. Now, is that you, John? John, I must be John McCarthy in the chat. Okay, I think we're going to do this one here, unless he has one he would like me to go over, which would be Lamanda. First, we'll take a quick check at this time. And so really good news that John is in control of the time. Now, one of the things I will observe, I want to make a note, rather. So I'm noticing people like John who've been in the dojo, who are really working on it. They are the ones who, in this rating range, are going to be the ones who have fixed their time usage. And so that's really good. We will say that in this case of the time management rating, The time management rating was really designed for an increment in mind, but we really wanted to bring it all the way down to 30 because that is the lowest time control in the dojo. And I don't know if it works that well for 30-0 because, here he is. He's got a great rating, but he's down to, 40 seconds over here for the final bit. So what we want to say is, of course, in the dojo round robin and stuff, you're going to have games that are 30-0 just because that's the minimum time control. And I'm sure John already knows this, I encourage him a lot to try to get a longer time control than 30. Okay, I'm just relaxing a little bit too much here. It's been a long day. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. And Sam lost this morning. Dojo is all depressed about it. I drank too much coffee. All right, let's go game review. Check this game out. All right, so beautiful moves so far. Beautiful moves. A little funky. Sometimes they're playing the hippo when they do this. I agree. It's not a terrible mistake, but, unnecessary. Good. Okay, fine. You're doing great. Oh, beautiful moves. Beautiful moves. Yeah. That looks wrong. Okay. You took it, and that can't be terrible. But a simple move to play would be c4 to deny him the exchange. Say, no way, buddy. Your move's fine. And I agree with you. Queen d2 is just really weird. Why aren't we playing queen e2? Okay. A little weird. I agree with you. Queen e2 still. Fine. Good move. Poor. Now just whack him. Good. Now we can whack him again with c4 if we want. All right, queen g5 maybe. You were just encouraging him to castle though, right? Bad move, g6. He should castle. Remember, development is something they're going to give you. Good move. It's got to be a good move. And now you're wasting it. Beautiful chess. So, John, I actually want to say here, you're completely outplaying this guy. You're using your time. He is not. And, or they are not, I should say. I should ungender it. And you're totally winning. Okay. Now, at this level, though, it's got to be said, a pawn isn't necessarily the end of everything. Good move. Great move. Great move. Don't know what that does. And that's definitely your most aggressive option there, d5. You said check to the miserable king. And now you took. And you say, I got caught up in going after the pawn. I missed a chance for better play, which would have won material with bishop e5. Now, what I really want you to see with d takes e6 is you're still crushing him. What are we saying? Wait, what are we saying? It's still an amazing move. Here, and then we say check to the miserable king. And you just take it over there. Why are we taking the rook? A bit of an in-between move. All right, so one of the things I've noticed for players at this level is they often make things more complicated than they need to be. So why aren't we just taking the rook? Right? You're up a pawn. Okay, so imagine it this way. Instead of trying to do a fancy thing, it feels like to me you're trying to mate him or something. I don't know what it is you're doing. But it feels like you're trying to do something fancy, whereas in this position, you just think about every game up against players in this level should kind of look like I steal a coconut like you did. Then I steal their exchange. And then I do things like here, I don't know, let's have him take with the rook. And then I advance. This not only cuts his knight from the game, but later I can play c5 myself. These are the simple things I do. I do not make it complicated. With moves like rook d3, I just keep it nice and flat. I don't know what we're doing, yeah. Now we've kind of given, we're doing funky things now. Oh no. And there it is. Our advantage is completely washed away now. Rook e5's weird. Rook e3, right. Knight g7's weird. Should take on b3, I guess. Oh no, we did b4. We're just killing ourselves. Good move. That's a good move from him too. No, we're hanging everything. We got to move the bishop. Oh, he should take with the rook, of course. He should take with the rook. Yeah, we're hanging stuff. Okay, so John, let's talk about this. I remember looking at your games, and the first good news is you're working hard and you're making progress. You're also, the main thing that's holding you back is what we're going to call the grip on the board, right? You're hanging things. You're also making things too complicated. And let me stress, as you play more, you're going to get better at not hanging stuff. This thing about developing grip, in my experience as a coach, it takes some time. It doesn't happen immediately. But what can happen immediately is just getting a sense of how to wail on these people so that they don't get up, right? So just take it, keep it simple, right? Yeah. And I think you understand too. You need to playing a slightly longer time control will give you an advantage, especially since a lot of these players you're playing are going to be moving instantly, as if the time didn't exist anyway, right? Okay, so that's John. I really am into his quest. I remember doing that video, and he's doing great. So we might need some help, actually, John, at a sports statistics company. If you have some ideas about how we can run statistics at the dojo, oh, we might want your help, John. I bet we could get your statistical modeling going on. We did a statistical evaluation. We had a guy come in, and we found we tried to determine which dojo tasks were most correlated with gains. In the dojo website, which was in a much more primitive state at that time. So it would be interesting to get somebody in who knew what they were doing to try to do that kind of statistical work. Okay, congratulations again. That was John. We're going to see him again. And now another player who I believe I also covered in that series. This is Blue Guitar Gambit. And one of the reasons I chose John and Blue Guitar for that series is I wanted to look at people who were stuck, who had done like most of the tasks but still hadn't made it. And I wanted to do it because I know, like, if you're going to make a video of how to make 500 or how to make 600, you're watching that video because you're struggling yourself, right? And Blue Guitar and John were both, not getting there instantly. Okay, so let's read what Blue Guitar says. He says, "What a long, strange, slow trip it has been. Experience from the dojo, despite my advancing age and late start to chess, has been good at freeing me from internet overload of options and distractions. The community has been positive, and most of my experiences have been as well. Poor choices and reluctance to fully adopt the advice from the dojo kept me from making progress. Hint, the program is geared for rapid advancement. It needs additional thought about the small percentage of us old dudes, gals, that get stuck for a while." 100% agree. With the help from now I just want to say this. Yes and no, I agree. Where I really agree with is, and I think this happened when I looked at Blue Guitar and John's profiles, is there were several people who got stuck and they ran out of tactics tasks. And then they felt it was incumbent upon them, which I guess it was, to find stuff outside the dojo program to supplement their tactical diet until they made it to the next level. And that in particular is where we need to give them more things to do. It's been on our dojo list of things to do for a long time. And yeah, we've just got so many other projects going on, and it's like everything that we want to change something with the site, we have a whole tech thing that has to happen, right? And so it's hard. We had various attempts at solving it, but then there was always a technological hiccup. Okay, speech over. With the help from the super supportive community, and especially the folks I follow, I will keep plugging along. Special shout out to Sweat Gland, who is keeping me positive and moving forward with great ideas, reviews, encouragement, and wisdom to find ways to expand my ideas about working hard within the dojo system. I also wanted to acknowledge Faugra, who's probably in the chat. There he is. Panda Rocks, Wolson, Luchek, P. Parenzel, Jimmy Lays, and anyone who gives inputs on my slow journey. You always seem to be there with helpful inputs and challenging play at a time when I need it. There are countless ways these and the others very supportive dojo members have helped me. I am very thankful. Great. Great. All right, here we go. Blue Guitar Gambit. Retired engineer from Dallas with 3 great sons and a terrific wife. Oh, man. She loves you even though you can't play chess very well. That's pretty good. Going to chill out about heat maps and such. Okay. Beautiful. Look at this guy's heat map, my friends. Ba-bam! Ba-bam! Look at that thing. That is amazing. I mean, Blue Guitar is bringing it. Okay, so very big congratulations. Also here, a critique of the dojo. See those shaded green? That's all tactics that dude is doing that are non-dojo because he's already finished all of the dojo work. So it is definitely a problem that we need to fix. I have ideas. There's technological grief with my ideas, but I have ideas about how to fix it. All right. So this is the famous Blue Guitar Gambit, and he has made it 658. That's a big jump. It looks like he's close to doing it again. That would be amazing. So really cool, these last 2 graduations. I know both of these guys have really pushed it to make it. It hasn't been easy for them. And that to me are the most impressive graduations. We got the 50 plus. I'm in that one. 65 plus. I'm not there yet. I need a couple more years. All right, let's go take a look. Here's games. And here we go. So this was put in random 3010, fine. Take a look at the time usage. And it always brings a smile to my face when the dojo member uses their time and the rando does not. So beautiful. So we'll go game review. All right, here we go. Fine, 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 fine. Little weird. Fine. Little weird. What are they going to give you? They're going to give you, they're not going to use their clock time, and they're going to lose tempo. 94. This seems super strong, but might be dubious. Either way, after knight's exchange, my pawn pushes their knight away. Okay. What do I want you to do? I want you to castle, of course. Fine. Good. Little funky. No, terrible, actually. He's just hanging the pawn. He has to play knight b3. So now you say thank you very much. Beautiful. And now you play knight f6, which is fine, but e3 looks very strong. Terrible move. Thank you. Now, just a quick note, you're playing beautiful chess. I would prefer, I didn't mean that arrow, I'd prefer king e7, just because your king in the endgame is a fighting piece. Good move. This is a very well played game, by the way. This is a very well played. Nice. That wasn't it. Very beautiful chess. Beautiful chess. That wasn't it. This guy's just hanging all over the place. Check to the miserable king. Yeah, buddy. They don't resign either. This is a great game. So, what we actually want to say about this is you're playing good chess. That's just good chess. Yeah, that's just good chess. And good annotations too. I feel like, actually, let's just go back a second. So we want to go back to this profile and just say a couple basic things. That game, we'll see where your other problem areas lie, but that game was definitely a couple cohorts above 600, 700. So that shows to me that your work is paying off. You were using your time, you were developing, had a good board vision. I didn't see any major hanging of pieces at all, and you took the free stuff. So that's the way most of your games should look like on your path upward, right? So Blue Guitar Gambit, dude, you're crushing it. That was a great game. And maybe there's other games where you're blowing it. I assume that's the case because your rating hasn't got up to 1,000 yet. But that game alone showed me that you have the potential to play consistently good moves, right? Solid chess. Very nice. Okay, that's a beautiful thing to see. Okay, let's continue. Now we got N. Harris. Been watching your videos on YouTube and just started here. Looking forward to the experience. Well, very good. Thank you for being here. Just joined. Just got up to 600. We got clubs, chess dads involved. Okay. And we got a game. All right. This is... Oh, we're not going to cover this. We just want to say it's a 1510. A 1510 where he used more time to annotate this game than either player used in the game itself. All right, but welcome to the dojo. And, hopefully we'll get a more, next time I see you, it'll be a little bit more evolved heat map and you'll get some games in. A 30-0 time control is the minimum that we're looking for. And you should also be looking to play your moves slower. All right. Next up, Jay Hamb. Joined fairly recently and on a great upward climb. Doesn't say much about himself, but we do have a game. And this is a 30-0 and very typical time graph for what a lower rated game looks like. So I have, when we first developed this, there was the drinking game. I don't really drink, but this would be a drinking game of showing me various time graphs and asking me to say what the ELO of the players are just by looking at the time graphs. And, this one would look like around 1,000 ELO, something like that. Black, of course, did much better, and that is because they're in the dojo. Cairnsey, beautiful. So, e6 is a little funky because you've blocked down your bishop on c8. Okay. A little weird, but you have committed no crimes. Okay. Okay. Now bishop c6, very good. So notice white is just going to take now and develop your rook. You say thank you very much. Castles, castles. a4 doesn't make any sense to me. Good move. a5, I would have preferred rook fd1, d8, completely taking over the file. Good. And that's a mistake because of now rook d2. Now you're winning. Thank you very much. Now that's a dirty trick. h6. He says bishop d5 would be better. I agree. Good annotation, by the way. Great annotation, right? So first of all, white has played too fast. They played that move bishop b2 in 6 seconds. This one here, 6 seconds they played bishop b2, allowing me to come in. It was possible to defend with rook c1, so that if here, then we move the bishop. But he plays too fast, we get him. We're in. Like Flynn, we say, and that was too fast. You'd rather give the e-pawn than the c-pawn. For example, rook c1, rook e2, king f1, and at least we we evict him. It's not quite true because he could play e3 exclam, but you see what I'm saying. At least we're not hanging absolutely everything. All right, bishop d5 was a really good choice. I still think you're probably winning this. Let's play bishop d5 now. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that. Now your opponent needs to think strongly about rook c8. That doesn't make any sense. I like bishop d5 better. Okay. Okay, good. Now it's going to get hot, but you should be winning this thing. Uh-oh. He's going to run like the wind to be free again. I don't understand rook d1. You need to start thinking about advancing your coconuts. I don't understand. Good move, rook b8. He played it in 4 seconds, so I don't think he calculated it. But that was a good move. And now we're toast. Let's read what he says. In hindsight, okay, the d-file with the bishop was fine, but look, also over here, there's so many positions where you were just hanging stuff, right? And bishop a4, isn't it? That's not a bad move. You're doing okay. All you have to realize here is that this pawn is going to be threatened. So you won the pawn, great. Now go back, protect it, and then advance your coconuts. You're doing fantastic, right? Okay, so, and even here, when we get this position, it's not done yet. I don't understand what rook d1 is about. I guess it's about because you want to sack the exchange. But here, it's not like we're crisp. I mean, we still have reasonable chances. Yeah, we still have reasonable chances in this position. Okay, Jay Ham, thank you for being here. I should have gone into game review mode, but I was obsessed with the time chart there. Okay, so that's Jay Ham. Thank you for being here, and that was it was a little disappointing. Remember what I said? There's 3 things in the order of difficulty: vision, grip, not hanging stuff. We definitely are hanging some things. Time on the clock, you're better than your opponents. It could have been a little bit better. And then development, we have some things like this going on. Your opponent was much worse, though, than you were in this regard. Okay, so Andrula Chess, maybe just joined, doesn't have any work registered. In Philly, he loves chess. Hopefully we'll see some more in the heat map there. No clubs. And no games. So he joined in April this year, but he hasn't really input much yet. Okay, now, the one true Josephite, this guy was on last week's show. Let's read what he said. Hello again, everyone. That was a quick graduation. Now I am more experienced. I will make a wish list of things to improve on. 1, I always have a difficult time properly using more time. I just don't really know what to do with it. In the blunder game that took me to the 7-8 cohort, I used significantly more time than my previous games. I ended up crushing the other guy pretty badly. But that was more about just feeling out the position in an intuitive sense and actually sitting down and calculating variations. Analysis again. I have no idea what to do in analysis. I'm just inexperienced, I guess. All my major ideas are just don't blunder and use more time, bro. Well, which is technically true. It is far harder to do than say. Classical games, I've been a slacker. I need to do more OTB. Okay, good. Attacking strategy. A couple games I played yesterday had a different style of play than what I'm used to. I play a bit passively. My opponent would play aggressively and bring his pieces to bear on my king. I should probably learn how to replicate that. Although the book, The Art of Attack, is far too advanced for my level, does anyone have any recommendations? Don't worry about attacking in strategy until you make at least 1,000. Okay? Trust the program. Dojo stuff. I want to do 17 hours a week of dojo work minimum, but almost never accomplish that goal. Dial it down. I find the conversion task to be quite easy and almost never spend the allotted hour. The aforementioned time issue appears with studying master games by myself. Please comment underneath this to give me recommendations to help me improve. Thank you. P.S. I recently saw a thread in the question channel in Discord by Ali. It suggested dojo work of doing tactics, woodpecker style, being built into the program. Just want to hear your thoughts. Yeah, and I want to say about that until we fix it, and by fix it, what I mean is that guys like Blue Guitar and John McCarthy, that until we fix it so that we are feeding them more stuff to do after they've completed all the tasks. This is not a problem you have, One True Joseph Fight. You're just graduating again and again. But until we fix that, the default should be to repeat, do over the tactics work that's already been assigned. And the idea is to really make it part of your unconscious, right? The mating patterns and the maiden twos, or maiden ones if you're down there, right? Also, if you're doing the first chess workbook, to do just it again. All right, here we go, One True Joseph Fight. Let's go look at what you're doing, because you are crushing it. Join the dojo. Wants to reach 2,200 ChessCom. By the way, when we say ELO, we don't mean ChessCom. We usually mean FIDE. He's 17 years old. Okay, great. This is the online resource right here, One True Joseph Fight. You have made it. Now let's just have a little bit of envy for the youth, John McCarthy and Blue Guitar Gambit. Let's envy the youth for a second. This kid has time and energy, and he is slaying it. And he isn't hitting his 17-hour goals. Actually, he's kind of failing. He's not even close. He's doing good, but he's not doing even close to 17 hours. Okay. Tactics rating suggests that he is going to graduate again soon. Okay. Especially, by the sounds of it, if he can learn to slow down. Karen asks, how do you graduate? Is it automatic when my ChessCom rapid rating goes up or when I complete all tasks? It has to do with your rating, but Skebix will answer your question. Okay, here we go. Games. Games for Jesse. My games. Well, here we go. Games for Jesse, I guess. I really want for everybody to have your games for yourself to be put into the My Games file. That is, whether you do Dojo program or not, you need a file called My Games. Okay, here we go. Ba-bam. Ooh, 10 plus 5. No bueno. Hold on. That's not a game for Jesse. You got to have at least 30-0. What do we got? True Joseph Fight. What are we doing, buddy? Oh, okay. Here's a 30-0. Now, was this from a long time ago? 824. It really was. Okay, True Joseph Fight. I understand. What we're dealing with is somebody who really, their biggest challenge is going to be moving slower. Yeah. So let's go back into this Games for Jesse thing. So first of all, True Joseph Fight, put your games into the right folder, which is My Games. And I've already reviewed this one. So I'm not going to look at a game, True Joseph Fight. What you need to do, okay, I can tell you, is you need to find a sustainable amount of time per week that you're willing to do, okay? And then the thing for you to do on top of that is to play longer games and to analyze those games. And I can tell you're stuck in a thing where you're playing these very quick games. Something I can recommend is you go tournaments. You hit round robin. You go 700, 800, and you play these people and you analyze the game with them afterwards. They are very serious people, right? Get yourself on this wait list. Okay. So, but anyways, congratulations, True Josephite. Next step, we have Charlie. Charlie's graduated numerous times too. Joined in April. Hasn't been logging too much. Nothing. So I don't know what's going on with Charlie. I can't tell you. I can give no advice other than he should tell us what he's doing because he's crushing it. All right. Next up, we got King Go Night Night. King Go Night Night. That's almost as good as I Eat Tonight. You can play Evil Gwyn. What you should do is we say that you can pick your own rating system. And that's just the one you play the most on. Maybe you play OTB and you're playing US chess, or maybe you're playing FIDE, maybe you're playing the German Federation. All these things, whatever you are doing the most of. All right, let's read what King Go Night Night says. Second graduation. I see lots of hardworking fellow dojo members graduating this and last week. I need to be part of that party. This is my second graduation. The advancing factors for this promotion have been the tutorage and encouragement of Sweat Gland, the patron saints of the Under 1000 Weekly Game Review, beautiful, a grind of puzzles, general puzzle mixes, a heat map that is starting to look less bare and playing less but longer games. For this cohort, I'd like to build the skill of being able to analyze games more fully. It is still a struggle to look at games and feel like I am learning something. The road from where I am now on ChessCom to 1000 still seems daunting, but less so. All right, we'll look at that game. So here we go. That looks great. King Go Night Night. Yeah, buddy. He's a clinical neuropsychologist seeing patients. Okay, all kinds of stuff. That's interesting. Oh, yeah, there we go. Clinical neuropsychologist. I guess I don't know what the difference between a neuropsychologist and a neurologist is. Maybe it's the similar thing. I don't know. In any case, I'm interested. Oh, he's in the 50 plus. Thank you, Falgra. Yeah, I'm going to make a big announcement, by the way. We're almost at 200 people in our 50 plus club. So I'm looking to give an announcement about that. Here's King Go Night Night. You can see he took a break in the summer. He was out there in Montego, Awego. Oh, I'm gonna take you, Key Largo. He was out there for the summer. Okay, clubs. There it is. Beautiful. Games. King Go Night. Oh, he wanted me to look at this one, so we will. So first up, we'll take a look. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. This is what happens when you're a committed dojo member. You're thinking, right? And we used talking about making 1000 ChessCom. This is one of the key tasks already. If we can get a time graph that looks like that on a consistent basis. So that's already a beautiful thing. All right, here we go. All right, this is a chump move you're going to see often. Okay, good. 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 Beautiful chess so far. Fine. I would have taken with the queen. And who told you to take with the queen? You can see here, by the way, that sweat gland. It's so cool that when somebody else suggests a move, you can see it. 2 reasons to take with the queen. Maybe sweat gland should have elaborated. But anyways, the 2 reasons are when we're going to damage our king a little bit, it'd be nice to get the queens off. And second of all, this is a developing move. All right, so here we go. GF6. That makes me real nervous, bishop e6. Its intentions are pure, but we got this kind of thing that makes me nervous. He doesn't see it. Good move. I would have preferred queen f7. It's just safer. Okay. Okay. A little weird. Frisky. All right, this move f5 is frisky. And now white is also frisky. Both sides aren't respecting the fact that their king might run into grief. Now probably knight f4 is the move, but he plays this one. Good move. And is just completely unconcerned. White is completely unconcerned about using the clock or developing. I feel positive that I have my rooks and queen on the same side of the board with an open file to work with. But my bishop and knight are passive and not helping my cause. Okay, well said. Now, I don't understand what rook h4 does for you. I love this comment, okay, because it shows you're being sensitive to their plight. Now, there's several moves that we can consider here. To my mind, the basic one, the first one that comes to mind is simply doubling, because this creates a threat. And if they take, then they're opening their coconuts up over here. And we, of course, are interested in going to the back rank. I love your comment because a lot of players wouldn't be sensitive to the poorness of the pieces, but just the fact that you are shows that you're ready to make some good chess progress, because you're just feeling that those guys are passive. Okay, so queen g2. Okay, reasonable. Now we can win a pawn. Just f takes e4. You took first. Let's win a pawn. Why don't we win the pawn? h3, terrible move. Check to the miserable king. Check to the miserable king. Now we got him. King e3. Good move. Now, remember what you were telling me? You were saying that you wanted to fix the pieces. Boom! I think I would have been better served to let the tension build and move my knight. Now, what I want you to see, and this is something where you can really rapidly improve your game, is once you feel like you felt it earlier, like, hey, these guys are poor. If you feel that, you're going to be looking for this move just instinctively. Even regardless of some question about tension, you'll be like, I gotta fix him. I gotta fix him. Good move. Great move. Now, of course, he blundered with knight takes g1. You're brilliant. Brilliant. This is a yard sale here. Ah, we're just eating everything. Okay, well done. I would say that's a very high-level game, and there's a couple positional mistakes, but at this level, it's not positional mistakes that are going to decide the game. What is it? It's when your opponent hangs the stuff, and you were hanging a lot less than your opponent. Also, it's very encouraging that you used the time and that you felt bad pieces. So many players, even later, like 1600, 1700, they don't feel the bad pieces. So the fact that you felt it is very important for your chess development. Okay, beautiful. Let's continue. And now we have Ozark Giant. Structured tactics and endgame training helped a lot. I need work on creating a plan in the middle game. Okay. Now, I want to say it's probably not the thing holding you back. It might be cool for you to get a plan in the middle game, but at this point, it's probably not the issue holding you back. Okay, so Ozark Giant. So, maybe not logging all of his stuff. He's up to 9-10. Arkansas, the Ozarks. And we want to look at my games. And let's click on this bad boy here. So, do we got a time? We do. And Ozark Giant did not do as well as his opponent in terms of time. It says, yeah, I played too fast over here. All right, let's go game review. He is at least at the point where he's recognizing the problem. Fine. Fine. Okay. Kind of highfalutin play. Boom. And taking. You say this is a mistake. This is a bad take because it allows e5 and allows them to be really strong in the center. It is true, though, that you're losing a pawn if you play bishop b6 immediately. So what we should say is that the mistake is b5. Right? Okay. I think, by the way, if you play bishop d7, d4, you can play bishop b6. The other variation, you can't. Because, as you noted, you're going to end up here, bam, with the bishop getting nailed. Makes zero sense, a3. Good move. Terrible move. Terrible move. Now, what did he do? He freed your thing. Look at that. And now you play queen d7. And he's using stockfish, and h6 is fine. But what you really need to see is what we want is we want to break this guy out. Remember we were talking about feeling the bad pieces? You need to feel that this dude is like, hey, he needs to do something. I don't care what he does, but he needs to do something. Get him out. Good move. And now a very nice move from your opponent, knight h4. Very nice move, because now he's coming down for the horsey plop over here. Okay. Horsey plop has arrived. Good move. Okay. And now you just need to play rook g6. Indian wants some rook f5 stuff, but we want to play rook g6. Now we're toast. So it's just important to see, like, that's what you're missing, I'm sure, is you were missing the fact that the queen is coming over here, right? And let's stress something. Rook bg8, you played that in 41 seconds. You got plenty of time. See that down here, 24 minutes left. So a key thing that's happening is you're playing too fast, as you noted. So I can't yell at you too much because you've already seen it. And now we're crushed. You did it here. Now it's a little late, but, you know. Weird. What is queen g7? What's going on? Good. There's some weird stuff here. Bishop e4 was a good move. You could have played bishop g6 there. Boom. Boom. Okay, we have ourselves if this were a GM game, this would be a very interesting position. Rook takes a5 is a good question. Oh, he's pushing his luck. Check. Why aren't we taking on b2? I don't know what that is. Let's go win that pawn. Could you need to now look to see if you could win this rook. Like queen d3 or queen d1 and try to pick him up. He's loose. Loose pieces fall off and all that. I don't know what you're doing. And you got plenty of time. You're making random moves. Why aren't you taking the pawns? Bro. Okay, so he blundered. We should mark that as a blunder. Good move. Now, let's just stress this guy actually was in deep time pressure at the end. Maybe you were trying to bum rush him with the time. Okay, time management. Yeah. I need to remember to think about what my opponent is trying to do and how to counter it. Also look for improving moves and not always attacking moves. Okay, good annotation. You know, one of the nice things about, it's not a nice thing, but it's a thing about a chess improvement, is when you look at a game and you're hard on yourself, you don't want to be overly hard, right? But you want to be hard on yourself in the right spots, and I feel like you did a good job on that. I don't know what you're asking, Sweet Blues. Do one on time. Okay, so well done, Ozark Giant. Next up, we have Genie guitar. We have blue guitar gambit. Now we have genie guitar. We're up to 1,000, 1,100 over here. Let's follow genie guitar. Joined late summer. Oh, we got loads of clubs. New England, Fantasia, New Hampshire. Great. Games. My games. Genie guitar. There she is. Oh, we definitely want to see annotations before we look at something. Oh, Genie guitar. Where's the annotations? Oh, Genie guitar. Help me out. Help me out, Genie. Oh, Genie. Oh, and these are all like 1510s where no one's thinking. Uh-oh, Genie. So, Genie, we're hoping we're going to see you again. And we'll have some games done by that point. Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. Getting out of 1,000, not an easy thing. All right, now we got Field Sax. Field Sax says, I love the dojo. The ecosystem created here is wonderful. Shout out to my training partner, SC2 Frago. Having the opportunity to connect and share ideas with others at the same level is invaluable. Also, huge shout out to my coach, the poet. I highly recommend him to anyone wanting to take their game to the next level. Looking forward to digging into the material the next round. Now, I didn't even put it together at first, but this is Stefan, and he's been working really hard. We'll see it in his heat map, and it's a huge achievement to go above 1,000. And I've met Stephen once, kind of cool. So here's the incredible heat map, bam. Yeah. So I was funny. I saw, I started having kids much later, and I was chatting with him. He's like, I saw 22 and 18. I was like, oh man, so you're like done. You're done. He's like, no, one's a senior in high school and the other's still living at home. I was like, oh my God, I pictured my exit as being when they're 18. Maybe I don't actually get an 18 exit. What's going on? I was like, oh, they're 18. I'm going to go play tournaments. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye. Okay, we got some clubs. Adults Improver. I know you're up there in York, Pennsylvania. You should start a club up there if there isn't already one. And the poet, by the way, is an old friend of mine. Has been doing lessons with him. I definitely recommend the poet for especially players in this level. All right, let's take a look. Okay, let's see if we can click an OTB. Now, these games are a little older. If he's in the chat, he might direct me to what I'm supposed to do. But let's go click this just for a second. New Jersey Open. Okay, genius. Let's go look over here. Oh, beautiful time graph. Look at that. Beautiful time graph. So this is very encouraging right here, just to see that from a player of this cohort using the time wisely here. So that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so here we go. And I've already reviewed this one. Timeout. Well, hold on a second. These are all kind of ancient. Let me go back. We got something more recently here. All right, we'll do this one because it's a little bit more recent. And I'll show this. So here is the time graph. He did much better than his opponent in terms of time. Now, I think what was going on with the OTB is he just hasn't played an OTB in a while. So I want to do this one as it's a little bit more recent. Okay, so go game review. Fowler's also got the kids at home. All right. Good. Waste of tempo. Good. Good move. Poor, blocking the bishop. Poor, not developing. I want to stress, this is one of the things you're going to see. Your opponents at this level, they might be tactical geniuses, but they are going to not use their own time, and they're going to not develop their coconuts. Good move. Bishop e5, good. Poor. And now you play bishop g3. I think we should think about bishop g6 winning the coconut. So f6 definitely a fail. And here, we moved too fast. If we'd moved a little faster, we would have seen it. Now you saw it. Okay, you got a great game. No need to move back. When your king, the opponent's king is out like that, it's time to open him up. Get this party started. Little funky, of course. Now let's play e4. Let's open him up. Nice. You went this way. Okay. I would have preferred rook e1 just to keep everything flowing. Good move. Good. Your opponent actually really fixed their king in a commendable way. Here you stopped annotating. What happened here? What happened here? Oh, you got tired. The party's just starting here. Bishop g6. I think you should play knight g6. And now we're in trouble. He doesn't know what he's doing though. Rook d8. What is he doing? He can win this pawn. He can win this guy. Good move. Good move. Good move. That's a nice one. Just taking advantage of the mistake that d4 presented. f5. Nice. Oh, here we go. Why are we annotating this, Stephen? You're killing him here. Look at this. Beautiful. Look at this move you did here. Bang. Bang. Oh, buddy. Now it's real. Now it's real. Okay. fg7. Maybe rook af1 is even stronger. And now we blew it here with rook f7. We definitely needed to take a little bit of time here. Rook f6 makes more sense. Knight e7 makes more sense. Right? Oh, we missed it. And now we're lost. I don't know what happened in this game. Should they have played d3, by the way? Yes, sir. They should have played d3 and marched that pawn. Let's also talk about here. Instead of h5, they could play check to the miserable king, forkerino to the pepitino. So kind of weird that we didn't analyze this stuff, but we did get an amazing draw because the chump didn't think. All right. Okay. So Stephen is on his way. He's called Field Sax because he's a musician. He was once a music teacher as well. Maybe he still is. All right, we'll go back to the grad show. Congratulations, Field Sax. Beautiful achievement. All right, look at this. We got a bunch of people graduating to 1100. I'm going to do these to 1100, and then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break after that. Emmy Joe says, thank you so much for this awesome website that is really helping me have a plan to work on my chess improvement. And for $16 a month, I think it's 15, but okay, it's a very good investment. It has many more resources than a private coach at $35 an hour. Generally, private coaches will be more than that. I appreciate all of the quick responses and so many wonderful people who are ready to assist and offer wisdom. All right, boom, look at that. That's the wisdom right there. You're the one doing the work. Join the dojo and really crushing it. So all of this is looking good, Emmy Joe. 50 plus, the women's dojo. Beautiful. I think, by the way, there's another women's club that has more than 2 members. So one of the problems of clubs is sometimes they have duplicates and people don't know which one is which. Like there was somebody else started a 50 plus club, and this has become the default one, but obviously we just want the one club. That's right, Falger. That's older people, man. We're doing great. By the way, as shout out Emmy Joe, the U.S. Senior Women's Championship is a very cool event, and you can definitely trying to qualify for that is a beautiful thing. A lot of states, I don't know where you are, but a lot of states have their own senior women's championship too, or if they have a senior championship, then the highest women's player will be the senior champion. Okay, let's look at this one. This was Senhouse. I'm trying to click on it, failing. Okay, she likes the Caro-Kann because it's always the same two moves. All right, now this is my spiel. Don't. Just because you get to play the same two moves, we want you to learn how to develop. I know that sounds be like cry. I know how to develop. Well, maybe. In any case, here we go. Two players that played. It was a short game, but they did use their time. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go game review. All right. E5's fine. C5, okay. A little dangerous. Taking, I don't like taking. Gives you that nice pawn. Bishop D3, okay. 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 Bishop E7. Interesting position. Good. At any point, you could have considered C5, but I don't mind anything, especially that you've done so far. Queen H5, very frisky. Okay, good notes. Now you play D4. Now, what I want you to see about D4 is you're giving this square to the knight. Okay? So, what you should realize about your position is that you have more center, and you could start using it with a move like C5, where you might try pushing him around a little bit. You can also do things like A5, Bishop A6 to knock this guy out of there. Now that's a trouble, and of course, it's good that you didn't take on F4. C5. Common sense, so I can provide another defender. Now, knight E4 looks very powerful with this coming. Poor move. They're afraid of knight F4, but they have, obviously, a reason that you couldn't take it last move. Good notes. Rook E8, I don't understand. Time to make an escape square from my knight. And a knight on F8 means no checkmate. That's a sketchy saying I heard. Oh, it is a good saying, but look, your knight is doing a good purpose job. These guys need to start working. You know, we need to put these people to work. Your knight on F8 isn't going to work. He's defending the same threat that white's creating right now. All right, excuse me, I hit the wrong arrows. Wrong direction, Cry. Knight C4, I like knight E4 better. Knight F8. That knight, you didn't need to move it. Weird. Bishop B7, nice. Well, now I think we got him. Rook ED8. It took 8 minutes to make that miss. When using the engine later, I saw that Queen H3 would have created a draw. Well, wait a second, though. It goes like this. Check. Checkmate. This is what I mean about the work. Your opponent didn't feel it. Check. Mate. There we go. Great. Great game. Okay, I think there's a lot to learn from there. And I think the knight F8 thing, so here's the thing I want to stress. The catchy phrase with the knight on F8 is a good one, actually, in a lot of situations. But it's similar to what you're doing with the Caro-Kann, where you're like, this is my crutch for how I play in this position. Whereas what the dream is for you to say, all right, what's the principled move to do here? Like, what's the right thing to do? And with the opening, we're just talking about making developing moves, right? Your opponent's going to do all kinds, especially at this level, is going to do all kinds of weird stuff, such as taking your knight here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then you got this beautiful pawn in the center. Okay, so good game, and what you're also going to see is your opponent's going to kind of lose their minds with move. That wasn't the move I was looking for. With this move, and what he needs to do is think about how to get these people involved, right? G3 also gets, blocks this guy all up. Yep. So that's an 8 minutes. Great notes, by the way. Yeah. Okay. For him, so let's just say it this way in terms of strategic thinking. Both players have a little grief in figuring out what to do. G3 isn't a threat, and you don't need to do rook e8, knight f8 because he's not coming for you right now, right? Yeah. Okay, so good game. And now we're going to go to Angry Man. Oh, man, we went from the women's club to Angry Man. What's going on here? All right, he's up at 1,006. Does he got anything? No clubs, no games. He's an angry man? Nothing. Okay, angry man. Welcome to the dojo. Probably see you again. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more on this heat map next time around. Next up, we have the famous Wolfson. Wolfson says, I decided to move up. The task has been staring me in the eye for over a month now, but I want to complete Polgar's book before doing it. I have done that now, so it is time. Now, did you actually finish the book? What are we talking about here? Look at this. Wolfson isn't playing, bro. Wolfson isn't playing. Look at this. Ba-bam. Ba-bam. Now, yeah. He's actually been able to do it for a while, and he's just been wanting to complete some stuff, which is fine. Normally, I would say just go ahead and do it. Let's go look actually real quick to see if he's done how much of the Polgar. Wow, look at all this. So he set himself some extra stuff going on. Look at this. Dang, he's got it all timed out, bro. He's got it all figured out. So I just want to look, completed tasks. Right, so what he means by finishing the Polgar, I believe, is to have done a certain amount of mate and twos. You can see he's already gone past that right here. This guy's killing. Look at this. Puzzle Rush score is high. All this stuff is happening. He's got his own thing going on, too. Okay. This is great. This is great. Very impressive, Wilson. We're going to go over here, games. And by the way, if I'm ever about to go over a game and I'm, you're in the chat, just let me, and you have a particular game. Of course, you could tell me in the graduation note, or you could tell me in the chat. I'm happy to go over whichever one you want me to look at. Faugra, who is also a hardworking dojoer, says, Wilson might be the oldest member of the dojo, and his work ethic makes him my personal hero. Sweet Blue shouts out to Angry Man. Is it older? I think as I get older, maybe in some ways I work harder anyway. In some ways. Maybe us old guys, man. Let's see his clubs, actually. Is he part of the... Oh, he's part of the 75-plus crew, bro. Dang. So, Walt, amazing. Amazing that you have done this. Look at this. Pop this out. The man is hard working. 9 hours, 11, 13, 12, 13, 14, 12. He's just crushing it every week. So one of the many cool things about Wilson here, it's hard. An old man, he says, it's hard to make progress, and you got to work even harder when you're an older dude. I will speak from experience. And so this is just a beautiful thing. Okay, I think we're going to look just at the most recent one. All right, so now we got clock usage. A little fast, Olson. A little fast. Okay. All right, now we're going to go game review. He also notes in his notes that he has gone a little too fast. All right, knight e5 is totally plausible. Poor move, good move. Poor, reasonable. c3. So this is the kind of thing where it's an example of where the opening, knowing the opening is not helping. There's no point to play c3 here, but he is doing it because he's used to doing that in the London. This is what I mean by the openings not being a great thing at this stage of a person's chess development. What moves would be correct? One of these moves would be correct. Weird. Oh, I'll let it pass. Let it pass, Jesse. That's a mistake. This was sick move. I really wanted bishop e2, misplayed it. I cussed on this one. Damn it. Okay. So by the way, your opponent is just going for a cheap business with e5. And one of the reasons he's able to do it is because we dropped the tempo with c3. Now, I'm totally with you that it's a little difficult. Bishop e2. Yeah, we could probably play bishop e2. And then the intention, I would hope, is just to play here. It's a little scary because our queen is kind of jammed here. Gotta say, but we do have this move. So we're not going to lose the lady or anything anytime soon. But it's a little, it'd be pretty fancy to play it this way. All right, so bishop takes, I don't like. And I really don't like bishop takes. You mentioned e4. I just want you to castle. Okay. Now, it's about an equal game. You're doing okay. 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 A little weird. Okay. Black's playing reasonable. All right, so now this is the kind of thing where we're obviously going to get in trouble. Hanging a pawn. Also, we want to say that a problem with queen e2 is it's still a thing where you can think about this position in terms of development. You might not know what to do, but just as a default move, I don't know, it seems clear that that's a good default move. Put the rook where it has a little scope on both of those squares. Okay, so queen e2, zip. And that doesn't seem right because he can win another pawn. So you could still play a3 and hang on to a coconut. So this is losing another one. I don't know what that does. My plan is to get the queens off the board, then deal with the pawns. Poor move, opening up his king. What should he do? He should be thinking about basic moves, improve the rook. Okay, I don't know why we want to trade queens. To my mind, we want the queens on to keep it complicated. We're down 1,000 pawns. Blunder, and then we blunder too, because you're so intent, on taking the queens that you miss queen d5. Then full blunder by your opponent. Your opponent is, of course, playing too fast. This is what happens a lot of times when we're playing non-dojo wars. Thank you. Welcome to the dojo. Okay. So, there it is. Whew, man, that was a racer. So, a couple things here. I think in terms of getting opening development right. So, like, forget about your template of London moves for a second and just think about what is the right move to do, right? That's the kind of thinking that we want you to develop. And then later, it really is the hanging of stuff, where you hung c3 and then you hung b4, giving black an easily winning position. That's where the game was decided. Of course, you're playing somebody who let you completely back in. And as you get stronger, they're not going to do that anymore, right? Evil Gwyn's talking about where to put themselves. It says it's tricky. Don't have a reliable classic rating. Rapid is around 1800s. Lee chess. Well, we have a great rating converter here. Let's briefly look at it. We need to redo it, by the way. But here, if you're 1800 Lee chess, you're probably going to be around the 12 to 1300 cohort. Lee chess classical, that is. And then there's different, I don't know. One of the things, Evil Gwen, is you could start off there, and you like a lot of internet players who've gotten good in the age of the internet, probably even haven't played many longer games, right? But you could use this to establish a baseline. Maybe, let's say you started here, you could play in the 12 to 1300 cohort round robin. And, you just go over here, tournaments, round robin. Let's go check out what the 12 to 1300 looks like at the moment. That's the wait list there of the famous Jimmy Lays. And these people will play longer games. They'll analyze them with you. And you'll get a really reliable rating at the end of all that, too. Right? Okay, so let's go back. Where was I? I was talking about something important. I was talking about something important. Oh, Jimmy Lays is right there. Holy moly, he's coming up. All right, Cry, you're getting distracted. That was Wilson. Now we're doing Jackaroo. Did I do Jackaroo? Oh, gosh. Did I do Jackaroo? I can't even tell you. Let's go look at Jackaroo. Is this the guy that didn't have anything? Adult Improvers, My Games. No. Okay, we're up to Jackaroo. Doesn't have a lot going on, but just joined, and here's his game against Hungaman. Or maybe he is Hungaman. I don't know. This is the Nashville Chess Center. Okay. Famous place. I've never been there. I want to go someday. No times given. Again, you can do it. 25 plus 5, so basically like a 30-0. We would like you to play a longer game than that, but I get it. Sometimes you play in the National Chess Center and you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. All right, game review. Okay. Little frisky because it's not a developing move. Knight d7. Okay. Very frisky to play knight g4, but you might be in a little trouble right now. Yeah, I think we're in a little trouble. It's hard to protect your pawn now. On f4, he has bishop c5, queen b6, so it's a hard knock life. Obviously, maybe bishop moving somewhere is better, but you're going to lose that pawn. Queen d4. Yeah, why aren't we playing gf4? All right, now we're toast. We're in real toast now. Bishop h1. I recommend developing your pieces here, knight c3. Or c takes d5 first. Probably a good move. Not a good move. Now we're lost. Now we're crispied. Now we're critters. Queen f2. Bang. I guess we needed to at least try bishop g2. Check to the miserable king. Game, set, match. Okay. So, that was Hungaman. We don't have any times. And a little bit of opening, not developing, coming back to haunt us, and then it just got worse and worse and worse, right? G5, good move. This person might be a reasonable player. I don't know. Black didn't play poorly, by the way. Black played all the right moves, as far as I could tell. So maybe you're playing somebody much stronger than yourself, and they're making it look easy. Okay, next up, we have Quentin, who says, big thanks to my training partner, Field Sacks, who bravely witnessed we just covered Field Sacks up there, by the way, who didn't abandon me even when Stockfish recommended it. That's pretty good. My biggest improvement came from finally analyzing my games the way Dojo demands, instead of just mashing the engine button and pretending I kind of knew that. Also, I stopped studying openings because the Dojo principles exposed the truth. I was cosplaying as a theoretician. This guy's hilarious, dude. love the program, the work you guys do. I'll see you soon at my next promotion. I was cosplaying as a theoretician. That's the line of the day. I was cosplaying as a theoretician. Karen Z asked, at what age do you think it becomes impossible to become a title player? Nothing's ever impossible. It just gets harder. Okay, let's go look at Quentin here. Ba-boom. I'm starting to get fuzzy. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. I had to witness Sam going down in flames. Okay, retiring next year from the Army Infantry, father of 2 boys. Field Sack's got 2 girls, so they got some stuff in common. Chess, F1, and powerlifting. Well, this guy's my kind of guy. I've been playing chess for about 2 years. Truly started work on a year ago. Okay, beautiful. Field Sacks and this guy are fantastic partners. Okay, so look at this. He is working hard at it, right? He is not cosplay. He's no longer cosplaying as a theoretician. He has made big achievement to make 1,000. All these people, congratulations. Lifting heavy things, 41 people. I swear to God, these are the people that graduate the most. That's where we had McCarthy earlier, who's a statistician. We need him to run the correlation on the club. Of all the clubs, which is the club with the greatest correlation? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's got to be this Lifting Heavy Things club. There might be some other one I don't know about, but that club, I swear, that's the one that's producing the people. Maybe because people who lift heavy things are on a program schedule, okay? In fact, true story, when you look at this new layout of the training program, this took us years to develop. At the beginning of the dojo, it was weightlifters who had like a program of like, this is when I do my weights. On Monday I got this, Tuesday this, Wednesday this. They said, you guys need something like this. It was very hard to develop. We worked long hours at developing this thing. And anyways, you can see it's the weightlifters who've got a scheme of improvement who are really doing it. All right, let's go look at this game. Now, again, I want stuff to be in this My Games file. Here we got this one right here. No, Sweet Blues, you got to be lifting heavy things. We did Discord call so we can discuss the hat meta. The hat meta. Jesse Cry, what? All right, something happened here. They did beautiful time usage, and then they stopped thinking at move 21. We sometimes see this. I have some thoughts. We might come back to it. All right. So fine. Probably fine. Okay. Bishop D3. Knight BD2 is probably stronger. Good move. Very strong move. And now this was a tricky thing. So notice what he did. He's trying to do a trick, and white tricks him back. He wanted to open up the C file, and unfortunately we can't take yet. So it probably would have been better to wait. But it is good the long term we have this. The problem is we just gave his knight this square. Okay, he doesn't want it. Fine. Poor move. Yeah, that ain't it. Good. We want to also mention that G6 looks winning. And maybe you were afraid of this move, but then we do a pin and win. Okay, so Queen D4, good. That wasn't it. Why aren't we playing Rook takes H7? Is there a problem? I guess he's doing this. Oh man, it's pretty hot actually down there when things go down. All right, Bishop B4, a little fancy. Queen takes D2, Rook H7, good move. That wasn't it. Knight takes B4. Thank you very much. Welcome to the dojo. Good move. Dang, that's a brutality. So, very good game. He mops it up here. That was pretty well played, dude. That was pretty well played. And I don't know what he's doing here. In any case, we have to discuss the hat meta. Now, I was going to yell at them earlier, but I'm going to give them a pass. I was going to yell at them for both of them stop to think around move 17. But that was when the black hung their queen, so then it was kind of easy, so I'm not going to yell at them. Okay, so well done. I've been up since 4. I need a break. I need to do 2 more, and then I'm going to take a break. So, this is normally left. A little bit unclear what's going on. Just joined, so maybe they don't have anything. Normally left doesn't have anything. So, welcome to the dojo. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Now we got MJS. Also joined very recently. Has a little bit of work done in the ADHD and no game. So, guess what that gets me? That gets me a break. All right, my friends, let's just look at what we got left, and I got to take a small break. I've been up since 4, and we can finish this. Look at this. And the famous Jimmy Lays is next. So, Jimmy, if you're in the chat, I'm going to be back in a little bit. Jimmy just check if you got any comments. Great. All right, I will be back soon. Check out this rap that my friend David Bruce wrote.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine did he hacking. He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong, he scored a like from Truong. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board, it's only the other chap. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless, he rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction, the status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis with lengthy game analysis. With sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's monotasking, no relaxing, concentration maxing. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. One book, one board, one set, one thought. Work will work, will work, work, never stop. Now occasionally, he peeps the world of the tweet and laughs when he sees the player that he used to be. Blank face staring, complex plans comparing while he's dojo training hours a day, playing out positions, transpositions, and growing his board vision. Transition from poser to player, focus without a care. He leaves them complaining in his dust, staying with their week-old ratings. Blast past his week-old rating, each week's a new occasion. He never takes vacation, the work is entertaining, the growth he's maintaining. And now Joe is explaining, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, ratings what I'll receive. Welcome to the dojo.
Welcome to the dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Eric Dicey. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hack, and
Mouse.
he got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chap. Still, his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable courses keep looking cheaper by the pound. He got 22 databases and 36 engines, 25 chess sets, and a massive clock collection. He bought merch from Gotham, Bra and Naka, but his game history looked like some chess copy pasta. A GM coach that he don't listen to, and if you think it is, then yes, my friend, yes, this is you. But that all changed one bright sunny day when a friend said, hey, don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe, waiting's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo, it's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo, I stepped away from easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. If sweatwork's what I believe, rating's what I'll receive. So Joe got into the business, stopped the app sickness, daily practices rhythm, he even upped his fitness. He found sparring cathartic, postmortems charming. With the plus equal minus, he was armed for ELO farming. With notepad and pen, he built up calluses, escape rating paralysis. With lengthy game analysis, with sensei direction, he sold his collection. Read one classic and that was fantastic. Now he locked to the spot where they checking off boxes. Young prodigies and some wily old foxes. 3.5 points per box, that's shocking progress. Goal nearing, cohort cheering, Joe doesn't hear it. He's mono.
All right, we are back. Ooh, I'm exhausted. I've just been too much. Started at 4. I had technical drama at 4 o'clock in the morning, and then Sam lost. It was very painful for the dojo. Then I did more work. Pushing too hard. Here we go. Jimmy Lays, hero of the dojo. Okay, I'm annoyed at graduating before I finish my reading. It's fine. Extended my blender games and have a 62% win ratio since last graduation. Will reset and go again as long as I'm positive win ratio. In general, we say at 1,000 you should stop with the blender games. I love playing more than anything, and I can get a 15-10 in most mornings in with a coffee, but I love the reading too, and I know I would have loved it if introduced as a kid. All right, here we go. Jimmy Lays. Look at this guy. Ba-boom! The man is working. He is working. Doing some middle game reading. Plans for 2025. He's going to play OTB. Get to 1900 just in case Andrew Tate abducts my daughters and I have to beat him at chess to rescue them. I'm here, Fauger. I'm here. And we're looking at Jimmy Lays. Look at this guy. 1205. Beautiful. All right, clubs. Look, he's in all kinds of clubs over here. The UK Dojo. All right, games. All right, here we go. This one's the most recent one for sure. Dojo Round Robin. If you don't know what he's talking about, we got this beautiful round robin you can play in. Okay, so, ba-bam. Nice time usage. And you can see in the dojo, people aren't playing around. They're using a good time control for appropriate to their rating, and they are thinking. So that's looking great. All right, so let's go over here. We'll mark this as reviewed. We'll get on over. Fine. C5 is probably better. Okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay. Poor, not developing. I prefer not to play A3, but I understand. Oh, that looks poor. And now knight B3. Couldn't you? Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Okay, interesting position. Poor move. No one knows what that does. Queen E2. Good move. Rook B8. No one knows. Knight D4. Good move. And now Rook BC1. I think there's a tactic here where you could have played chop, chop, snook, and snark. And said, welcome to the dojo. I'm not sure I understand this move. He wants to play B4. And then, yeah, A4 also possible. Good. 98. You still have 96. Good move. Okay. I think you could have thought about other moves there, like Rook A1 might have been good. Let's take it. No. Good move. Good move. Good move. Good move. That's some very nice positional moves, by the way. That's poor. He lost his mind. He couldn't take it anymore. Good move. This one scares me. He plays D4 like a maniac. F3. And now you just take his pawn. So, of course, he could have gotten the same thing with DC, so we have to say that D4 was a mistake. Now you're just winning. I like Rook A B1 to hit him. Oh, nice moves. Nice moves. That's really well done. That was a really good game. So you're missing some tactics, Jimmy lays, like the 96 stuff. But ultimately, you know, you're going to, when you play this London, when you play any opening against these chumps, they're going to lose a lot of time. I felt you got a nice position because they gave you time. And then I thought you played some nice positional moves like G3, which is protecting the pawn and you're getting a grip on the dark squares. And then I thought H4 was also like maybe I don't know what the computer will say, but H4 is a nice move to throw at your opponent to gain some space. So I liked a lot of things that you're doing there, Jimmy. And I think once you start seeing the 96 stuff a little faster, you have, and actually it looked like you were reading some middle game strategy books. I might go look and see what you're doing because you were playing some good moves. You were doing this. Most instructive games, great. Great. Let's go back, grad show template. Let's just go look. You're doing this middle game. You're doing modern, hasn't done modern ideas yet. Mastering time in chess, that was a good one. But I guess you're also doing the most instructive games. Okay. Well, I wondered because you have all this nice blue over here. And you played some nice positional moves. Okay, next up we have, I don't know, I can't pronounce that one. It sounds Gaelic or something, don't it? All right, Kate Turnok, English teacher from Ireland who picked up the game from scratch in my mid-30s. Okay. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful thing. He Dojo 1.0, I remember Kate Turnok. Hasn't been logging their stuff, though. Maybe you could get your club going at the school. That would be amazing. And then, or you could once you get the club at the school set up, you could create your own dojo here, your own thing. You could use your own scoreboard. 1242, looking good. Okay, so clubs. I'm sure that was a kite or knock with some kind of Irish thing going on. I don't know what it means. Now we have. This is going on. Connor is playing Simon Lawrence. Looks like an OTB. Beautiful stuff. Do we have times? No. Again, you can always put the times in. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Kaisernock's here. It means pawn. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. So Kaisernock is playing a system. Looks a little bit like a King's Indian for white. Well known from back in the day. Very interesting. Good move by black. Good. Bishop d7 maybe a little slow. King h2 may be a little slow. You could have played bishop e3 or g4. Oh, I don't understand rook b1. I would say if you're going to do this h3 stuff, you need to start expanding over here. Oh, black's playing some good moves. So well done by black. Now the game is still pretty hot, but notice that the issue for white in these openings is the d4 square. And he is going to try to use it. So boom, good move. I don't know about taking and developing your queen. d4. Hey, this is some reasonable chess here. C takes, e5. Okay, critical moment. It'd be good to have the times here to know what people were thinking. Okay. In general, I don't like what you did because it seems like you're inviting this knight d4. But maybe it's not so bad. All right, let's look. Knight d4, queen d2, bishop b5. Bishop b5 looks a little superficial. Rook f2 would be called for and you freak out. A bad move that I knew was bad when I played it. I played this out of fear as I thought that moves like knight b3, bishop a4, rook c8 were going to lead to forks and discoveries on my queen. Yeah, rook f2 seems sensible. Rook fd1 seems sensible. Sure. That's a tricky move. And this guy tricked you. He tricked you. The good news is, now you saw that it was check and played bishop f4. We can't play rook f1, so now we have a terrible position. Good move. Good move. Good move. We're in trouble, aren't we? Dang. That fell apart. He also played a pretty good game. This is somebody who's higher rated, so it makes sense. Now, just to review a little bit, we're at a slightly higher rating now. It's okay to study openings. When you play like this, let's just say a couple basics. So, when you play g3, you're making an extra pawn move because the bishop's already out. So, it's not the end of the world. It's a setup. And black is playing all beautiful moves. If you're going to play a4, notice this. What's weird about it is you later play rook b1. But if you're going to play rook b1, just do it without a4, a6. Don't open the position up for him. He wants to open that position up on the queen side. So this move, you talk about bishop e3. I don't know if we need bishop e3. I like just g4. Your whole scene, right, is to expand over there on the king's side. That's what you're doing, okay? Is it abstract and kind of hard to calculate? It is. But you got to, boom, you got to push it. That's your side of the board. Your pawns are pointing this way. So this is passive. And this is kind of exclam territory, at least in terms of the idea. What you should realize, though, is if you can get in f5 before he gets to e6, then he's not going anywhere. So, again, g4, and if knight c7, you want to play f5 in general anyway, but now especially to stop the knight from coming to e6. So these are some of the ideas that could help you navigate this closed position. In general, okay, it's harder to play closed positions than it is to play open positions. But if you play this setup, what you should be saying to yourself is, I'm pointing the pawns towards the king, and I want to kill the king. So I gotta go. I'm committed to attack when I play this G3 thing. I'm not sitting on my footsies. Okay. Ultimately, of course, the big mistake, knight d4, led to a great position for black, and it fell apart surprisingly quickly. Surprisingly quickly. One quick look. I just wanted to see, I had one more idea to try to save your soul after this went down. It's a hard life. It's a hard knock life, as they say. But see, the thing is, if we let him check and have to go here, no bueno, because our rook's all messed up. So I think we at least should have tried this. Is our position still nasty and scary? Yes, it is. But at least we're not immediately getting our rooks discombobulating and everything falling apart. Your opponent had a very nice finish, by the way. Okay, well done, Kiter knock, which means pawn. Maybe I'll just call him the pawn, the Irish pawn. Okay, here we go. Keep the mind sharp. All right. It's been here since 2024, but it hasn't, only just logging their graduation, so we don't know anything about them. You could tell, though, keep the mind sharp. That's an old dude. No games. Keep the mind sharp. You need to play longer games and annotate them to keep your mind sharp. All right, next up we have Amable. He always says to me that I'm saying his name wrong, but it means lovable as far as I can gather. Graduating again from the dojo and heading into the next cohort. I'm over 1550 now, and honestly, it scares me a little. My rating has been going up, and a part of me is afraid to see it fall. The kids call that ladder anxiety now. It feels like a war with myself sometimes, wanting to protect the rating, but also wanting to stay hungry, curious, and joyful. So I'm reminding myself why I started, because I love this game. I'm going to keep pushing forward, trust the work, and not let fear kill the joy that got me here. Beautiful. Okay. So there's Amable. And he's doing some non-dojo work. Shame, Amable. So he's up there, 13-12. Look at this. Very nice graph here. Okay, clubs. Oh yeah, he's all over the place. He's got it all going on. The Coconut Club, he's part of the Coconut Club. That's a famous club. That might be also correlated to games when we do our statistics. And we got a recent game here. Looks like he's playing someone a little lower rated. He's representing the dojo here. So, as we can see, and I remember this, Amable has trouble moving, slowing it down. It's not just the under 1250 set. It's also the stronger players. But you can see his opponent, oh man, didn't think at all. All right, here we go. I'm hoping we just wasted this person. So here we go. Oh yeah, he loves this. He loves this, despite the fact that I told him not to do it. Bishop d2 was really weird to me. Bishop e2 is totally strange to me. And now we just hang in some stuff. Right? Just hanging stuff. Moving in 10 seconds, not seeing the bishops hanging. Whoops. That isn't it. Why are we playing rook f3, bishop f7? And you played that in 6 seconds. Oh no. Oh God. Oh, Amable, you're killing me, bro. Oh, Amable, bud. And let me just say, for the players under 1,000 who are wondering, how do these people who are so high rated, how do they do it? Well, they're making some deep blunders here. This black player's playing super fast, misses bishop h5, then knight g3 happens, and Amable plays rook f3 in 6 seconds. Oh, man. Well, I don't understand what g4 does. All right, so we got a roughly equal game again or something. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Good. All right, interesting position. Now, if black had actually spent more than 4 seconds here, they would consider c5 with the intention of activating this rook. Rook c1, good move. Rook c3, good move. Good move. Good move. A little weird. We should at least be considering g6 there to shut the king completely down. Fancy. Fancy. Good move. I don't understand. Why, you know, you could take, once you take the pawn on e6, you'll be threatening g6. Now g6 for sure. Boom. Boom. That's what happens when you come to the dojo and you don't use their time. That's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. So, what we can say about Immobilate, look, he's working hard in his chess. He just needs to slow down. Once he slows down, ooh, so much improvement is ready for him. So much improvement. Okay. Mind Voxel's getting heat map envy. That's right. Okay, next up, we got Sideshow Bob. I vaguely remember Sideshow Bob. Here he is. He's been here for a little bit, 1400. I'm not sure he's got any games, though. We got a game. Have I done this one already, though? I haven't. Times aren't given. Let's go look at this game. Okay, good chess. I like rook e8 and knight d7 better. Good. 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 This is a very typical maneuver when we're playing this, and in general in the Caro, you're going to have to fix your queen's knight. Not a threat. Knight g6. Funny enough, we had an earlier game where black obsessed about moving the knight to f8, and here we're obsessed with moving the knight to g6. Knight g3. By the way, the move here that would be typical of our system is actually h5. I'm not sure I get it. Good. White's just moving back and forth. I'm not sure I understand. Snip. Snap. Back. Notice our knight on g6 is really terrible right now, and the bishops are kind of strong. Yep, that just helped white. b3, slow. You're obsessed with this stuff over here. So notice what you did this whole time. You're obsessed with doing something over on white side of the board, the queen side. White, in the meantime, is improving their position, and you have yet to fix your knight. There we go, good. We're trying at least to fix the knight. Nice move. Very nice. And that was a very nice tactical find. So congrats on that. Good. Notice that this takes a square away from the knight. So, sensitivity to bad pieces. The knight needed to be fixed, and now you're killing it again. Good. Good. So we fixed it. Notice the cheap threat by white, I mean, maybe he didn't have anything better anyway, but allowed us to fix the knight. Now I want you to go to b6 to fix him. Good move. I want you to go to d5 to fix him. I don't know about h6. Good. Knight e3. Yeah. So we're hanging the c6 pawn. Also, your knight is just stronger than the rook, the bishop. So you mentioned h5. Something like rook e4 also makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now, queen b8. It looks like an exclam. Boom. Uh-oh. And then you talk about queen b1. Good move. King f8. King h3. I'm not sure about king h3. I don't know what it does. f5. Reasonable move. King h2. King e8. Good move. And he falls for it right there. Look at that. So king h3, blunder. Now we have good chances to win. Can we just talk about this for a second, though? The guy plays rook g5, and you take on d4. Notice, though, that he is in a bind in this position. So you could play... You want to see if you can transpose to a winning endgame. Is it winning? Probably. Yeah. Usually the pawn endgames are won. This one, not so clear that it's winning. In fact, we know it's a draw. That looks very poor, allowing the exchange of rooks. You should definitely play rook takes. Okay, now he's lost. Okay. I would love to see the times on this. This is can be tricky, but this is winning. So that was well done. Good move. King d4 shows you know what you're doing. Beautiful. What beautiful. Okay. So. Right. All right, lots to learn. I think that thing with the pawn endgame versus the rook endgame is instructive. And there's a lot of insensitivity in that middle game of improving your pieces. So I think sensitivity to piece placement is something you want to be thinking about. And that's something, by the way, when we're coming up here, 1500, people aren't hanging their pieces that much anymore, right? And it's time to start thinking about tempo and improvement of pieces, sensitivity to bad pieces. So that was why earlier in the show we had somebody who mentioned that their pieces were bad. I was like, oh, if you can feel it now, we know that these people at 1500 have a real problem. That it's there. That's where they need to, have a learning curve. Okay, we got Kamagaya Gigi. Playing more long-time control games has helped a lot, but I still need to do this to force myself to think more deeply. Teaching English in Japan. Internet chess off and on. Last 25 years. Oh, he is cranking on it. Doing monster amounts of tactics. Reach 1512. Can we get a Japanese club, please? I want a Japanese dojo, please. All right, let's go over here. This is a recent game. Do we got a time graph? We do. Oh. There it is, my friends. Now, we did better than the white player, but both people aren't thinking. They are not thinking. Okay. So if you are rated on 1,000 and you think these people are unbeatable, that's just not the case. I don't understand a lot of these things. Okay. Weird. We would rather see... Well, I don't know what we want to see. We don't want to see that, though. Looks a little soft. I like... so with d5, we've really opened up the bishop on f4. Sensitivity to our opponent's pieces as well. Queen a7, reasonable move. Now we're in trouble. Good move. So we're down a pawn. In general, we would like to keep the king in the center. Unnecessary. So he hung a pawn. I have a lot of questions. Could white have played rook c1? Could we talk about it? All right, looks like we're losing this thing. There's a lot of dubious moves being played by both sides, and basically both players aren't thinking. Oh, looks like we're toast. Okay, we're gone here. So, Kamagiji, your task is very simple. You need to slow down. You need to slow down, buddy. You need to slow down, and there's a lot of moves here in the middle where you're not focused on getting your coconuts out. Kind of starts, I would say, here, where you need to find a way to develop your pieces. In bishop d7, maybe, but you're really getting in the way of stuff. You talk about knight e4, maybe. One of the things about playing a weird opening is, it's oftentimes hard to get your pieces correct and moved up. Right? Okay. All right, I'm starting to fade, my friends. I'm starting to fade. I'm going to admit it. You got to admit it sometimes. We got two left. We have Mind Voxel. He was in the chat earlier. Mind Voxel, if you're here, tell me you're here, and then tell me which game you'd like me to look at. Oh, I'm fading. I'm fading fast. In fact, I see him. He was around the YouTube like 3 hours ago when we started this, and he said, he is getting heat map envy. All right, Mind Voxel says, honestly, I've been doing my own kind of study routine and not doing dojoing recently. But I've been an avid viewer of the podcast for many years. I plan on checking out the materials that offered with the subscription and perhaps sign up for the upcoming Zoom classes. That's something we can talk about at the Zoom classes, yeah. One thing I feel that helped me start to break into the next level is I took a data science kind of approach in analyzing my performance across the thousands of games I have played online and seeing what kinds of openings and positions fit me as a player. I have also tried feeding this data into AI models and ask it to classify my play and recommend top players to study, openings, etc. Sometimes it can feel as if you're trying to coerce the AI into fitting the narrative of how you see yourself as a chess player, but often I find the results can be illuminating and give a sort of guidance on what kind of chess you want to strive toward in order to play to your strengths. I think it's around this level that you start to understand more what kind of chess player you want to be once you're able to blunder a little less. So it made sense to me to do some soul searching on that. And to me, it was also just a fun thought experiment that makes study and play more engaging. Okay, it sounds to me like you're making it more complicated than you need to make it. But if you're having fun with it, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. All right, here we go. So I would say, first of all, even if you aren't into the dojo program, you think what we're doing is dumb, use this thing to your advantage. Okay, clubs. He's in the Maryland dojo, bro. Yeah, buddy. I'm in that one. All right. By the way, Mind Voxel, if you want to help us out, dude, we need some developer action. All right, so this is going to be an OTB. And looking good. Time graph wasn't done. It's hard to do, but it's possible. I say that every time. Second ever USCF rated game. And so now the first thing I want to say about that is it's very impressive that you got this far without doing OTB. Okay, very impressive to get up this high without doing OTB. Okay. Fine. Questionable because now you can play e4. E4 looks good. You really want to prepare it. Okay, now we'll do it. Okay, good. H6, poor, not developing. E5, good move. Okay, now big momentito for us. You say black has the advantage. I totally disagree. I think you're doing fine in this position. You have a little bit more space. Knight e4 looks like a good move. C3. Maybe you can play C3 too. C5. I don't like this move because now the knight doesn't get that square. Knight e4. Knight f1. So one of these squares is where your knight wants to go to. Okay, one of them. Knight f1. I'm not sure where knight's going. A3. So you're preparing c4. Okay. Queen b8 looks like a blunder. C4. Knight c7. Now you're winning positionally. I don't understand b3. I thought for a while here and ultimately decided I would prefer bishop b2, bishop to bishop f4 due to g5 being possible. g5 he's not ready for. But look, what's the principal move now? Fix your knight. Fix him. We can worry about the bishop later. Knight on f8, you'll never get mated. We heard that earlier. So you're walking into it with queen d3. All right, I don't know. I think bishop c6 or bishop f3 may be better. Finally does it. I don't know why a6 was necessary. So notice your opponents are blowing tempi. Good move. Okay. Now it's a kind of a complicated game. Notice now that black needs to focus on fixing the knight on c7. And this doesn't make any sense. You were opposed to playing knight e4 for the longest time. So it's kind of bizarre. Pop, pop, and now rook a, b8. So let's say the obvious bishop takes f3 has always been a reasonable move. So notice, you came around the fact that, hey, that bishop was actually maybe okay over there on that diagonal. All right, gf. Now, I want to say it's a struggle for black to fix the knight on c7, but it's a sign of poor play if he never does it. Okay. So maybe rook takes d4. What I see when you play rook takes d4, though, is I'm seeing that you're opening this bishop diagonal up, and you're enabling possibly the knight coming to here. As it is, the knight really has a long way. Maybe knight e8, g6, knight g7, knight f5, something like that to fix his life. It's hard. When he plays g6, he's hanging the h6 pawn, for example. So I don't understand rook takes d4. Bishop c5 made more sense to me. I guess you always had knight e4 there, and I don't understand queen d3. Blockading with the worst blockader. Great note. Great note. An interesting question actually would be, are you winning the endgame on queen e4, queen takes, knight takes? Because his pieces, especially the knight on c7, are so poor. Okay. We've seen this before. We saw this earlier today in an earlier graduation. So what do I want to stress? Notice how black at no point was like, dude, my knight is terrible and I gotta do something. At no point did black ever say that to themselves. Now we're winning. Oh, now they see it. Now it's like, oh, and now my knight does something. That's pretty funny. Good move. Thank you very much. Yeah, good move. Good move. Good move. That's got to be a good move, right? Isn't that what they say? That wasn't it. Mate. So, well done, Mind Voxel. Very impressive that you've gone this far without playing a rated game. Or, just started. My Okay, what I think what's going on here a bit, okay, is because you haven't played that much mini long games, you don't have a sense of positional play. And so you're playing at a very high level, 1700, 1800, but you don't have a sense really like where the pieces want to go, and evaluating the position. For example, you didn't have to play e5, but that was pretty fine. And I definitely don't think black's better here. No way. No way. You got a little space. You got a nice development going on, right? So all that stuff is good. And really, with time, you'll get a little bit more comfortable with positional play, right? I don't like allowing the knight to f4, for example. That's why the knight has got to go to one of those squares. Okay, beautiful. Well done, Mind Voxel. And we got Jim B, who doesn't have much work. We don't know what's going on with Jim B. He's a very high level, though. A lot of times, in my experience, players at a high level don't analyze their games because it's too hard. Too much identity has already been sunk into chess, and they're like, bruv, I can't look at my games. I can't do it. I, however, can say goodbye. I'm tired. I've been working too hard today. I'm saying adios, muchachos. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. So, maybe he missed a checkmate, but it didn't matter. He was winning at that point. We're going to raid somebody. Oh, man, who are we going to raid? Who are we going to raid? There's so many people to raid. There's a lot of people out today. Let's raid somebody I've never raided before. This is Ash Deanna. Say hello to her. I'm certain we're going to be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. Mr. Bruce is going to be there covering the Go It tournament. It's been both a fiasco and a joy. We had a very hard day today at the dojo with friend of the dojo, Sam Shanklin, progressing to the quarterfinals and then losing in a random blitz game in the tiebreaks. It was brutal. It created a bad day for me. I'm working through it. I'm almost done. Honestly, I'm less interested in the tournament now. Yospam's also out, so like my favorites are no longer there. Arjun's out totally in a random way. Dude lost in a tiebreak also. So the tournament's a little bit of a farce. A little bit at this point. Still, it is what it is. It's going to mean that we got some slightly rando people in the candidates. But that's okay. That's okay. Bruce is going to be there tomorrow morning. I'm going to join him. Okay. So, Falgra, thank you very much. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to raid Ash Deanna. Ciao, ciao.